Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm taking a look at who I think is the most underrated cornerback in the league. I don't think he gets anywhere near the amount of coverage in the media that he should, and that is Darious Williams, the Los Angeles Rams cornerback. He is an absolute stud, and I'm just going to take you through why. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, make sure to like, subscribe, let me know in the comments what you think about the video. Love talking to you guys down there. Let's get into it. So for me, as I mentioned, Darious Williams is one of the most underrated cornerbacks in the NFL at the moment. That LA Rams defense last season was ranked #1 overall in points allowed, #1 in yards allowed per game, and it was massively due to that secondary. Yes, they've got Jalen Ramsey, who's a massive part of it. Troy Hill was also very good, but Darious Williams just genuinely didn't get the media coverage and the press across the league that he really deserved. He put up some amazing stats. He had the third lowest completion percentage of all cornerbacks with 60 targets and above, which is sort of like a benchmark that I use. Jalen Ramsey had 60 targets, and a lot of the other cornerbacks who played most of the season had a sort of similar range and upwards as well. So the third lowest completion percentage out of all of these is really, really impressive. And he also had the joint third most interceptions. I'm just going to take you through some of the clips, but as I said before I started, I just wanted to make the point. I love this guy. I'm really impressed by everything that I've seen on film. So this first clip against the Eagles, he's playing the outside third on this zone, and he plays it really nicely. So what you're going to see here is he's going to keep his outside leverage, which is exactly what you want when you're playing that outside third zone. But instead of biting down too early, he waits to see if anything's coming over to that side of the field, because obviously he doesn't want to leave too early and just leave that whole third of the field open. So he backs off. But then as soon as he sees that Eagles wide receiver come on that post, that's when he really drives inside and gets to the ball and makes a great play. This is something that you're going to see throughout the whole video: pass breakups, interceptions, the whole lot. He's really athletic, really acrobatic, gets so much airtime, and he covers so much ground. He's really quick as well. So you can see here, the wide receiver's probably got a yard or two on him inside when he's on that post, because Darious Williams has to keep that outside leverage. But once he sees that he's running the post and nothing is coming to that side of the field, he breaks inside really quickly, really well on the ball. And yes, this is a tick late from Carson Wentz. He probably took one hitch too many, but this is still a great play to jump in front of the wide receiver, go up and make the play for the interception. So this time the Rams are playing a cover 3 match zone. They actually sort of show like a cover 2 pre-snap, but then they roll that one safety into the middle of the field, and the guy closest to the camera here, he's going to roll down and try and match the #2 receiver. So if he runs a short out, he's going to cover him. But Williams, he's on an island up the top. He's got a one-on-one against a big tight end here, and this tight end's got a lot of size on him. He's got a lot of height, a lot of weight on Darious Williams here, so he's going to have to play through him and keep his eyes on the ball. But you watch what he does here. He plays stack technique really, really nicely. He backs off, keeps everything in front of him, and then as soon as he can see those tight ends' hips turn towards the sideline, he knows that he's running the out. So he commits full speed down towards the ball, and he gets in front of the tight end by the time that the ball gets there. Yes, again, it might be half a tick late. This ball probably should be coming a tiny bit earlier so that Darious Williams can't get to the tight end and make the play. But it's actually not a badly thrown ball. If Darious Williams doesn't get there quite in time, this is a beautiful ball to the sideline. We're saying it's a really nice, well-thrown out route. But the way that he reads the play and then jumps on it straight away is absolutely outstanding. The tight end doesn't even realise that he's there until the ball is in Darious Williams' hands and he's on the floor with the ball, essentially. So it's lovely technique to keep everything in front of him, and then as soon as he recognises something, he jams down on the ball, keys in on it, and gets the interception. Now this one was my absolute favourite of the lot. This was from the wildcard game against the Seahawks, and just a bit of context, DK Metcalf has come off the field in the last couple of drives, really frustrated, helmets off, they're trying to calm him down and everything. And this screenplay to DK Metcalf is one thing that we've seen so many times this season. They just get the ball in his hands, let him go and make plays. Darious Williams, really good film study, seen this on film so many times, and don't forget, empty stadiums, you can hear everything that's happening on the other sideline. He knows that the Seahawks are going to feed DK the ball. But what I like is the way that he recognises it. He sees DK turn ever so slightly in with his shoulders and his hips, and he's running straight away. Russ hasn't even fully got the snap. He's just keyed in completely on DK Metcalf, seeing that he's turned his hips and that Freddie Swain's coming to try and block him. But, this is probably like half a second you're talking. This player's not developed at all. He just sees the slightest movement from those two receivers, instinctively knows that this wide receiver screen is coming, intercepts it, takes it to the house, completely changes the complexion of the game. I just absolutely love how he studied the film, how he's read the game situation, and how he reads the body of the wide receiver before making the play. He just brings it all together to make an absolutely amazing play and take it to the house. And then next up, we're sort of looking at his pass breakups and how he affects the receivers. And this one was the best of the bunch. So all DB coaches will tell you, if you can't turn your head, you can't locate the football, keep an eye on the receiver's eyes, keep an eye on his hands, and then make a play on the ball when he goes to, make the catch. And you can see here they're playing a cover one robber. So you've got this too high, one of the safeties drops down, and Tua tries to take a shot deep along the sideline. And again, it's not a badly thrown ball, and the guy actually goes up and high points it over Darious Williams, who isn't the tallest of guys. The receiver does have a height advantage over him here. But he realises that he can't turn his head. He doesn't get too aggressive, try and turn his head and, lose a step on the receiver, lose the matchup. He keeps running with him, and then as soon as he can see the receiver's hands go up to try and catch that ball, he makes a play with his left hand, slaps it out perfectly, and he almost actually gets an interception off it. In the end, it was ruled that the ball hit the floor and it was an incompletion. But to almost get an interception off a play that you're completely facing away from the quarterback and you're just keyed in on the receiver, that is absolutely sublime. And now we've got sort of an off-script play. So this is from a cover 2 zone, and Williams is playing the flat zone to the bottom of the field here. So what you'd normally expect is the Seahawks are running this sort of high-low concept. So you've got the tight end on the corner route, you've got Lockett on a sort of little sit route, and then you've got the running back. So it's just creating a high-low stretch on the linebacker and this cornerback for them to be able to fit one of the 3 throws in. So normally in this cover 2 zone, the linebacker would stay fairly middle of the field-ish where he is, the guy sat behind the defensive tackle at the moment, and then Darious Williams is going to be responsible for anything below the numbers. But again, I think this is perfect film study. He's seen this before. Lockett just comes across to this side of the field, then runs that little curl route, but Darious Williams completely leaves his zone coverage. He realises that the linebacker is going to cover that running back route into the flat, and that the safety behind him is going to take the corner route from the tight end. He's really aggressive with it. You don't see this very often from players in the league because, it does show up on film if they leave a massive gap open and it gashes them for a big play downfield. But Darious Williams is confident in the ability that the guys around him will make plays on the people that they see fit. So what he does, he drives away from that flat zone infield, almost to the hash mark, gets in front of Tyler Lockett, and he really should be catching this for an interception. But it ends up as an incompletion where it should have been an easy completion for the Seahawks. Move the chains, keep it moving down the field. Great play recognition, great film study, really well executed. Just a shame he couldn't get his hands on it fully for the pick. We've just seen one clip where he played really nicely through a big tight end and he made a play on the ball. So now we've got a couple of other clips where he plays really nicely through the body and finishes the rep. So this time again, this is sort of an off-script play. They're starting in a cover 4 look with those cornerbacks and the 2 safeties fairly deep. And then what they're going to do is this safety here is going to roll down. Darious Williams is normally supposed to roll deep and take an outside third responsibility. But again, great play recognition. He sees the running back out into the flat, trusts that the linebacker is going to follow him, and then he just keys in on that wide receiver again, sticks to him, and he realises that there's nothing coming over to this side of the field. He drives and makes a play on the ball really well. Again, it's great play recognition to see that there's nothing else coming that side of the field, so he can afford to be aggressive. But then great play rec to see that the receiver's just coming on a little curl route. He's just going to sit there for Daniel Jones, and for him to be able to get in front of him, because he's much bigger than him, this wide receiver here. But the way that he sort of flips his hips round to the right and gets in front of him and gets that big arm out in front and slaps the ball away is really, really impressive. A great incompletion. Well, if you thought the last clip was impressive, this is against Rob Gronkowski, one of the biggest, best blocking tight ends in the whole league, and he just absolutely climbs through him. He sees the play developing, realises that nothing can come in his direction. He trusts that safety behind him, who's going to pick up number 81, and he drives down onto the football, gets his arm in front, and makes a great play yet again. It's just time after time on film. I did see during the season that he was making these sort of plays, but these ones against the tight end, against big receivers, sort of go unnoticed because they're not the big flashy plays. But when you blow it up, you look at the wider angle, you see what responsibilities he's supposed to have, and yet where he ends up on the field and makes the play. It is really, really impressive to see the confidence that this young man's got and the ability to then go and carry it out against much bigger, much stronger guys generally. And then just one last thing to look at is his tackling ability. Some of the players were actually really confident. I liked them. He came up and made a big play. This is one against Washington. They bounced the run to the outside, and a lot of schemes, what you'll see happen is the cornerback will take a really far outside angle to push that running back into the bigger, heavier linebackers to make the tackle. But what he does here is he actually takes a shallower, narrower pursuit angle, so it's on his left-hand shoulder instead of pushing them back in towards the linebackers, and makes a really nice tackle for loss on his left-hand side. And it's high risk, high reward, because if he bounces this outside, it could be a very big run, especially getting outside the linebackers, but as it is, wraps it up for a really nice tackle for loss. And then on this rep, I think they're actually playing a cover 4, but again, it's trusting one another. This is the Rams defense that's been so successful in 2020. He knows that if he drives down on this ball, that the safety's going to react and pick up that tight end's deep vertical route. It's just good trusting each other. They know their responsibilities really well. They know if they are going to be aggressive, go and make a play on the ball, that one of their teammates will back them up and take the route that potentially they should have had. So you can see here, he completely ignores that vertical route because he can see that running back coming out into the flat. And then it's really good explosiveness and play rec to get there and tackle him for a 1 yard loss before the running back even knows that he's there. By the time the running back turns his head, he's completely on him and it's a 1 yard loss. Again, really nice tackle technique. He doesn't sort of be defensive and stutter 1 or 2 yards, because you see so many defenders get juked out and hurdled, you know, when they do that, when they give the running back too much respect, too much room. He climbs up on him, doesn't give the running back any time, any space to perform any moves, just puts him down completely where he is. Great tackle. So just to recap, I've been so impressed watching everything on film about Darious Williams. It confirmed what I originally thought, that he is one of the most underrated cornerbacks in the league. Yes, there's conversations to be had about other guys, but for me, I really like this guy. I think a lot of other guys get media coverage, get talked about plenty. So if you're not talking about Darious Williams, you better start doing it. And Rams fans, keep banging the drum for him, because I've been so impressed. So thanks for making it to this stage of the video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Let's try and grow the channel, get it as big as possible. Let me know what you think about the video down in the comments as well. Love talking to you guys down there. Let's have a discussion about Darious Williams. See you in the next one.